Over to New Jersey we go for week 2. We were in Pittsburgh last week for the Milano Cup final rematch. This time we're going over to New Jersey for a different kind of rematch. We're going to have the Marlton Dogs up against the Lakeland Caribou for a Tier 1 rematch of the New Jersey division. And with me from the Marlton Dogs is Steve Scian. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so let's start things off with you've had a pretty deep run in the Milano Cup just to come up short in the semifinal. So what is the atmosphere like coming so far? And now here we are all with a fresh season.
We got some fresh faces on the team. The team changed a little bit. Got some guys back to playing hockey, and I think we're good enough to go back and hopefully make another step, get another step further.
So with the new salary cap that's been put out, your partner Dennis Hickey has scored the maximum amount of points, 8 points, making him one of the highest rated players in the entire league. Has that caused trouble with getting your roster together, trying to beat the salary cap?
It didn't allow us to add a couple of the players that we could have, but we're pretty happy with what we got anyway. So it didn't kill us. We didn't have to subtract players, which was nice.
Yeah, that's a good thing when you don't have to take players off your team when you've already known them for so long. So when we saw you go up against the Caribou back on the New Jersey Tier 1 championship, the divisional championship, you guys were the favorites to win, but you ran into a team which has been really defensive. They had a defensive style game the entire time. So what's that like playing against a team like that?
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, they've got the best goalie, in my opinion, in the world, Robbie Snyder, and they got plenty of good defensemen. You have Mike Williams, who's again one of the best in the country, and Tanner Rupert, who's another stud. Luke Malloy, Jojo Malillo. It's ridiculous. They're very deep.
And then we go into this new season, and the Caribou have already played 2 games, and it looks like they've made a complete 180. That last year they were a defensive team. Now it seems like they're an offensive team. They've beaten the Mutants 5-0. They've beaten the Night Watch 4-1. So is this going to make any adjustments to your game plan this weekend?
They're deep. I mean, yeah, like we said, they got all the great defensive players, but they're not struggling on offense either. With like Mike Malloy, Dougie Sanders. I mean, you can keep going. The Gallon brothers. I mean, they're not struggling to score goals either. That's for sure.
All right, so let's back up for a moment here. So we have just come fresh off an off season. You've had some time to think back. Now, we've already touched upon your Milano Cup run. Now, what was it? What's it like for you to play up against teams from around the country? How is that different from playing in a division?
It was very different. It was a lot of fun, though. It was nice to see like new faces. Yet you see them at other tournaments throughout the year, but it made for a way more competitive atmosphere, which was, I don't know, if you're playing a sport, you have to be competitive, I think.
And you certainly had a very competitive championship, especially when you went up against Pittsburgh, which has had a reputation for having some of the best players. I think to understand what kind of team Pittsburgh is, you have to actually play against them. So what is it about Pittsburgh that makes it so difficult to play against?
They've got really good depth. Their depth was probably the deepest we've seen. The Massachusetts teams, they're deep too. So I think that's what we tried to do. We tried to get some guys that could be depth players just like they have. Because that's what it ended up being. Some of those depth guys are the ones that score the big goals, especially when it's hot out.
now with the new season, do you think you have a better understanding? Should you make it back to the Milano Cup this season, do you think you could take them on again?
I'm sure they'll be there. I mean, that was a good team. We'd like another shot at them, but that was a good team.
And now let's go into your current season. You've already played one game. You played the NBHL22. From what I see, they definitely made you work hard for it. Both your goals came in the second period. But it seems like have you had any run-ins with their defense? What was going on with that game?
We weren't very good. It's the first time a lot of the players have played in a while. We were sloppy, but we figured a way to get a win, so that's all that matters, I guess.
Shaking off the rust, I guess. But now the good news is that Dennis Hickey does have a goal and assist. Zach Andes has 2 assists, and Aaron Huffnagel has a goal and assist. You've yet to get on the board, but it's only the first game. So, so we've already talked about the Caribou, but we're also going to be seeing you take on a new team, the Mays Landing Prodigy. But it does come with some very familiar players, most notably Connor Callahan, who is one of the biggest players that came from the Tier 2 champions, Mays Landing Mojo. So what's it going to be like going up against Tier 2 champions?
No, I think it's really cool that they decided to put a team together that go to Tier 1. You know, a lot of teams, youth and adult leagues, they like to just stay where they are and just keep winning where they are at. But you got to respect the fact that they wanted to come up and they want to take a run at Tier 1. And like you said, like Connor, I don't know too many of the guys in that team, but Connor's a really good player. So,
and I'm sure that you've been watching him play, because you play on the same rink as them. And so have you watched any of the Mojo play last season? Have you got a kind of a feel for what kind of style they play?
No, I haven't watched it too much. Honestly, I don't get to watch too many of the Tier 2 games, but I guess we'll see Sunday.
So with the Mays Landing Prodigy, now they did come off with a loss against Belmar 4-1, but that isn't to say that was a bad loss, because Belmar is also a very good team, and we'll definitely be seeing them later down the line. Which team do you think is the biggest threat for you this season?
I think you got to give it to the Caribou. I mean, they're the reigning champs. They're the Hawks, so the Hawks are good, and they got better this year too. So,
and as you already know, with a Tier 1, 2 of you will make it to the Milano Cup. So you put your bet that you think the Caribou will make it into the to the playoffs, but then that just leaves you and as you said, the Belmar Hawks. They're a good candidate as well. So do you see the Hawks as just as a big threat to the Caribou?
Yeah, I think really a lot of the teams could be, but even Knights Watch, they're a team you have to watch out for also. They're a good team. But the Hawks, Knights Watch, Caribou, and us, I would say we're probably known as the top 4, but that's not to say someone else can't come in and win.
Now, with all that being said, now you've already mentioned that that during your game against the Tortugas, you had a little bit of rink rust. So I'm pretty sure that with you guys that could be shaken off. But I mean, have you had any time to play in the off season? Have you been trying to clean up on your skills? I mean, what's been going on in the off season?
Well, I play just about every week. I played a ton, and some of the guys on our team also have, but I would say half to 3/4 of our team probably haven't played since the Milano Cup. So got to get on the same page.
Yeah, I kind of figure it would be. Now, when you got the word that I believe it was Dennis Hickey that he got Was it MVP or was it most valuable forward? I can't remember which one. But
Got both.
it was both. Yeah, yeah, that's what I thought. Now with that being said, now you got the best forward at least in the New Jersey Tier 1 division. So now as far as your defense, now well we haven't talked about your back end yet. Now as far as defense, you've done relatively well in the past. Now who you've been relying on as far as your back end?
Mike Andes, Pat Hickey, Shane Kelly. They're probably our big three. We lost one actually for the year already, but
who was that, if I may ask?
Connor Ryan.
Connor Ryan, and I mean, has was he with you last season?
He was, yeah, he was good for us.
Now, what was that? A salary cap issue, an injury, or what was that?
Or an ACL.
Was that from a game or something irrelevant?
A game outside of the NBHL.
So, well, I mean, well, those things do happen, and we do wish for for a fast recovery for him. How long do you think he's gonna? Is he out for the season, or how long is he out for?
Yeah, I'm sure he's out till probably November, December.
So we can say he's pretty much done for the season, but hopefully we'll see him very soon. Now let's go into now your goaltending. Now we haven't touched upon Papagno yet. He's been one of the better goaltenders, and I have been impressed with how he's played. And it seems like he continues to do that. He's only allowed one goal so far. Again, only one game played. So, so how do you assess it? Do you think he can help carry this team?
Yeah, I mean, he gives you a chance to win every game. So if your goalie gives you a chance to win, that's all you can ask for.
And let's talk about Tier 2 for a moment. We've already touched upon the Mojo, but there's another team. I guess we can call it your affiliate. The Marlton Hounds have been placed into the Tier 2 division. So how's that working out? So are you more like training for players to come to Tier 1?
Yeah, it's a good mix. Like there's some older guys and there's a lot of young kids like 17, 18, 19. So we'll see. Maybe a couple will make the jump next year.
And just so that everyone knows, technically they're a different division. We have separated Jersey into two different parts. We have North Jersey and we have South Jersey. So, but technically they're a different division, but everyone is pretty much still playing on the same rink. So it's not that big a difference. But the Marlton Hounds, so far, they've played a game and they've won their first game. And that was against another new team, Jersey Shore Sharks. So going into their stat sheet, right now the ones that have gotten on the board are Justin Smith and Nick Cataldo. So did you go out looking for these guys or did they come to you?
A little bit of both. Like I knew Nick. Nick was a really good player. He hasn't played in a while, but he's really good. Some friends told their friends and we had a team.
And a pretty big roster too. And I'm sure we will be looking at the Hounds very soon down the line. But they are in a very, very crowded South Jersey division in Tier 2. We have 12 different teams, just like last year. And of course, Mays Landing is going to be their biggest challenge yet. Well, we will definitely see. Now, let's wrap this up with this. Now, you've made the Milano Cup last season. What do you think it's going to take for you to go all the way this time?
You know, a little bit of luck. You always need some luck to win, but I think we just need to stick to what we did last year. We were a little bit unlucky last year, I think, towards the end, and If we do the same thing, I think our luck could probably change.
And that definitely could change this season. I mean, luck is part of the game, and we will definitely see down the line. You might face Pittsburgh again, should you make it to the Milano Cup again. But we'll definitely see. But the Marlton Dogs are definitely a top contender to be watching for, but with a much more competitive Jersey division, pretty much anything can happen. Steve Scian, thank you for joining us here, and good luck to you this weekend.
Thank you. I appreciate it.